Screw average on the, I've been doing it for a while now, probably about a year. Okay, kind of want to explain a little bit behind that of why that's one so meaningful for me, and then two, why it motivates me and why I talk about it so much. Okay, but I want to kind of talk about the definition of average. Okay, you can look up the actual definition of it, but it all relates to average at some point. Okay, the only thing that it means is that you aren't growing. Okay, it means you're not really going anywhere. You're doing the mundane. You're doing what everybody else would do, right? You're going through the motions, okay? And honestly, that means you're not moving in the direction towards being the best at something, okay? And I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning and makes consciously the decision to not be the best at whatever it is they're doing, right? They may not make the decision to be the best, but I don't think somebody wakes up and be like, oh man, I want to suck today. That's exactly my goal. That's exactly what, at the end of the day, I want to know that I sucked, right? Nobody ever makes that conscious decision, okay? So being average means that you aren't moving towards being the best, okay? Well, here's what the best does, okay? The best people make the most money, okay? What is everybody number one focus in America?
Money.
Making money, okay? So yeah, it's like a taboo topic. We don't talk about it. Okay, walk out here and talk to somebody and say how much you make a year and see how funny they look at you. Okay, right? We talk about it all the time. We announce paychecks, all that. It's not a taboo topic in our business, but in our society, it definitely is, right? Best people make the most money. The best people have the biggest impact, right? Which I think if you ask most people, they want to have some sort of impact with what they do in their life, okay? And the best people create the most opportunities for other people, okay? Which in my eyes is like, hey man, if I'm creating opportunities for other people, that's what means the most to me, right? But to do that, I've got to be the best, because the best create the most opportunities, right? The best create the biggest companies. The best create the biggest teams, right? So I've got to be the best, right? Which means that I've got to not be okay with being average, because if I'm average, then I can't be the best, right? So that was the first thing, okay? But here's the reason people settle for average in the first place, okay? One, it's more comfortable, okay? It's definitely more comfortable. It's easier. You don't have to put in as much work. You don't have to think about it as much, right? You can just kind of go through the motions. It's more comfortable, okay? The second reason is they don't believe anything else is possible, okay? Belief determines what you do, right? If you don't believe in something, you're not going to do it, right? If you don't believe in something, you're definitely not going to be above average at it, right? If I don't believe something works, right? If I don't believe gravity works, okay, and I jump off the top of a building, what's going to happen? I'll learn real quick, okay? I'll learn real quick, okay? You've got to have belief, but most people, they don't get out of average because they don't believe anything else is possible, right? They don't believe actually owning the nice things is possible. They don't actually believe that giving to charity or building houses and different, whatever it is, whatever impact, they dream it, but they don't actually believe it's possible, especially in their situation, okay? And what I'm talking about is people will say, hey, well, like, my parents are both alcoholics, right? Like, so just because of the situation that I come from, I'm just never going to be somebody like whoever you look up to, a Grant Cardone. I'm never going to be a Rafael Dago. I'm never, they just, at the root of themselves, they just truly never believe, hey, my situation is not going to allow me to do this. But here's the thing, if anybody has ever come from a similar situation and been successful, which I guarantee you that there is, okay? You can tell me your exact situation. I guarantee you I can find somebody from your exact situation that has been extremely, extremely, extremely successful, okay? All that means is that it's a lack of accountability, okay? It's a lack of accountability because you have to be unreasonably accountable to be successful, okay? What I mean by unreasonably accountable is everything is your fault, okay? Sometimes that's difficult. Everything in your life, when you take accountability, when everything in life is my fault, okay, you get really happy real quick, right? Because nothing else is dependent on anybody else, right? Has anybody seen Eminem, the 8 Mile, the movie 8 Mile? Okay, do you guys remember the last scene in that movie? Okay, if not, the last scene in that movie, he goes into a battle, okay, a rap battle, and he makes fun of himself the entire time. Does anybody know why he does that?
No one else can.
It leaves no room for his opponent to make fun of him, right? He's like, man, I'm just going to make fun of myself the whole time so nobody else can do it, right? And that's extreme accountability, right? That his leverage was accountability. His leverage was, hey, man, I'll make fun of myself all day. I'll take accountability of myself all day so nobody else can do it, right? Sick movie and sick last scene. You should go watch it if you haven't seen it, okay? But here's the point. If you've made the decision, okay, I think my iPad is there, okay? If you've made the decision in life, okay, not to be average, then you've got to take that accountability for yourself, okay? You've got to take that accountability of, hey, everything is my fault, right? I'm going to try to pull up some of that so I don't miss some things. Okay. Here we go. What I think about for the most part, there we go. Okay? If you've made the decision not to live average, right, you have to look at things differently. Okay? And you start to look at things differently. That's why I post Screw Average so much, is because it makes me look at the world differently. Right? It makes me look at the world with opportunity. It makes me look, everything is an opportunity. Right? When you go in the field, there's an opportunity to see how much money I can make. I don't care what it takes. There's a ton of freaking money. Right? Actually do the math, and it's mind-blowing. Okay? You have to take that as an opportunity, right? The program, how fast can I actually get through the program? Right? We were talking about this last night at B-Dubs, right? The program is like, it's like playing college and you're trying to get drafted for the pros, right? Like college, you don't make any, now they make a little bit of money because they deregulated it or whatever, okay? They don't make that much money, right? You get to the pros, now you get to the opportunity to make a lot of money, but when you get to the pros, if you're average as a pro, guess what happens? You're done. You're cut, right? People are saying, you've got to look at the program as how fast can I get promoted so I can actually get in the game. I've got to get in the game to make a lot of money, right? Building a team becomes a freaking mission, right? To be the best group in the office, right? When you look at everything with an opportunity and you take accountability for what you're doing, everything you're like, man, I just got to build the best freaking empire, right? I gotta help other people succeed, right? You're like leading I think of Jocko Willink, like leading a combat mission, and your team is just like, your team is like a group of soldiers. You're like, we're going to freaking smash it, man. Every single day we're going to go out and smash it, right? Losing people becomes part of growing and learning how to lead with intention, right? So some negatives, right? Because always negatives are going to come up. I don't care who you are. You're going to have negatives. The best people, they just learn how to they learn how to handle negatives like it's nothing. Right? They make it look so easy, right? You think people like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, or you think those people don't have problems? No, they got a lot bigger problems than any of us in this room, okay? They just know how to overcome them. They know how to look past them, right? Every time you get punched, you automatically go, man, I got to get better, and imagine what I'll do when I'm better, right? Imagine what I'll do when I'm better, right? I'm getting punched in the field. Imagine what I'll do when I'm sharper at selling. Right? I lose some people. Imagine what I'm going to do when I'm a freaking good leader. Imagine how big of a team I'm going to have. Imagine how many sales we're going to do. Imagine how many offices we're going to have throughout the country. Right? You look at it a little bit differently. Okay? Personal growth becomes, man, I can't wait to do this. I need to be a better leader now. Right? You're like 30 minutes. Screw the 30 minutes, man. I need like 2 hours. I need to grow now. I need to grow yesterday. Right? I need to be a better leader for my people than just 30 minutes. Right? You stop punching the clock and working a job. Okay, this is honestly where I kind of I don't want to ramble too much. Sorry, I'm already rambling. But you stop punching the clock and actually start working towards the life that you want. Okay? You start punching the 8 to 3:30 clock or the 9 to 5 clock or whatever it is you're doing, right? And you start working towards the actual things that you want out of life. Because I guarantee you, if I went around this room and I said, what do you want out of life? Okay, and we do this sometimes where we talk about the nice cars and we talk about the nice houses and we talk about, giving to charity and we talk about retiring your parents and providing for your family and all these really nice things, right? You've got the screw average mentality is I'm going to stop punching the clock and being average like everybody else, and I'm actually going to start working towards what I want in life, right? Meaning that time has nothing to do with what you want in life. Time is not going to slow down. It's not going to go anywhere. It's your biggest asset, okay? But it could also be your biggest setback too. is not taking advantage of the time that you have, okay? So learn to say screw average to every single mentality that you fall into that's not pushing you towards the goals and dreams that you want to have, okay? Because I know every single one of you guys have written down some sort of goals and dreams and ambitions and targets and this sales, team-wise, getting promoted, organization, whatever it may be, right? Everybody in here has something, okay? And if you don't, you've dreamed of it before, right? Maybe you haven't connected the dots of it actually being realistic and it actually happening, but you've dreamed of it before, okay? Stop thinking things are a dream and start actually looking at what reality says, okay? Because reality says those things are made for people to have. Those things are made, right? Money is out there for people to have and people to enjoy and people to use for good things, okay? So every time you fall in the field and you say, man, I'm getting punched, man. I don't know what to do, right? Screw average, man. Just do something different. Do something out of your comfort zone. Do something a little bit more. Stay a little bit longer, right? Time has nothing to do with the things that you want out of life. So start creating the life that you want. Stop punching the clock, and just every single day, let's go out and say screw average. Cool? That's all I have.